everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
And Eric made me watch a sci-fi movie that I had kind of avoided.
A big space opera epic for December, which ended up, because we took our break, didn't end up in December, but this is because we didn't have Star Wars this year.
Oh, that's why you picked
That's why it's Riddick. Yeah, because we didn't have Star Wars this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my pick ended up being a thing that I didn't end up actually liking all that much anymore, even though it's by who I thought was my favorite director.
So yeah, for the winter sci-fi, in lieu of Star Wars,
in
I think
February
Chronicles
now,
of Riddick.
he picked Chronicles of Riddick.
This is the trilogy, including Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black, and the 35-minute Dark Fury animated film.
Yeah, before we had the Riddick movie, so they tried to force it to look like a trilogy with a 35-minute interlude movie.
Yeah.
That I'm sure most people don't even care about or think is canon.
It would be like no, it's canon. It's written by David Twohy. Like it's definitely canon.
All right.
But like it'd be like releasing that Van Helsing animated film that's also like 30 minutes long, with Van Helsing as like the Van Helsing duology.
Yeah, or like if Blade Trinity hadn't happened and the Blade pilot was like the third movie.
Well, they do that in the 4-pack.
It's
a 4-film pack, but I'm not trying to pass it off.
They're not trying to pass it. They don't call it a quadrilogy.
Or anything,
so that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had seen Pitch Black eons ago.
And did not like it.
Aeon fluxes ago.
You should revisit Pitch Black.
Should I?
It's better than you remember.
Okay, because I didn't like it when I saw it.
It's not as good as Riddick, but it's better than you remember.
But we're talking about back when I couldn't get through Blade. So what did I know back then? I was a stupid kid. I don't know. Glad I didn't have a YouTube channel back then. Glad YouTube wasn't a thing back then, so that I couldn't go online and be like, look how dumb I am.
This movie's way too violent. How dare they let this get made?
Yeah.
Hey guys!
Get out blood from the ceiling? No! So I didn't care for Pitch Black. I never bothered with Riddick, with Chronicles of Riddick, because I didn't like Pitch Black. And then, and it wasn't advertised great. Like, I heard about it for a second and then didn't, and so I wouldn't have even thought to go. And then I saw...
I'm like 12, and it looks amazing.
Then I saw Riddick on a whim with Brandon, and liked it a lot.
It's really good. Riddick is really good.
So, and that movie has a really quick flashback that has a... that has Carl Urban in it.
Yeah. Where he says, like, we're done with you now, Riddick. Get out of here.
Well, I don't know what this is about. I don't know who this guy is, but this universe looks weird. So I guess it's fun that it has that connective tissue.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I never thought to go back to this, and this is the only way I would have watched this. Was Eric going, so I'm going to make you watch this, and you're going to laugh your socks off, which I did. I did have to put my socks back on after I finished watching
I love Chronicles of Riddick. And
you know what? That's fair. That's okay. I give you permission to like the movie as much as you do.
Kind of unironically.
Really?
Kind of. I don't know.
Okay, because everything I was complaining about, you agreed with.
No, it's not. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. But Riddick is like the brainchild of like a 12-year-old boy. Like if a 12-year-old boy was given $120 million to make a movie, it'd be a big sci-fi epic with sexy ladies. And some of it would be set in a prison. Everyone would like talk real tough, and the main character would be the best at everything. And it's adorable.
And that's a great way to put it. And you'd have like really convoluted physics that make sense in your mind as a child when you're playing with action figures, but you can't quite communicate to anybody else.
Yeah, and like weird things like he's a holy half-dad.
Yeah, because that whole
whatever
thing
that means
that you were trying to break down at the end with like the half dead person.
Where like the spirit moves and then he follows after it, but I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, it's like a weird time displacement thing. Like in this guy's head, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
he knows what's going on and could explain.
I meant to re-listen to the commentary.
I was going to say if there's a commentary, he probably tells you exactly what's going on and cannot communicate that on screen.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like tough guy Star Wars. Like it's real. I think it's really funny.
This movie is tonally uneven. It cannot decide in certain scenes just how Shakespearean it wants to be. It can't decide how over the top or not it wants to be, and it's always over the top. It just can't decide past the threshold of 11 how much farther up it wants to go. And there are scenes that are just straight up melodramatic scenes, and then other scenes where I can take it a smidge more seriously, and it kind of interrupts itself with a short film, and then comes back and has a third act, and that second film with a different tone, I really thought was going to be the climax of the movie. I was like, oh well, the shift it kind of makes sense. Like he goes down into this prison, and he hangs upside down and stuff. And he's in the prison.
Yeah,
and
he does the thing that everyone does when they're in chains or whatever, where you roll yourself up and then keep doing it until it breaks.
Yeah,
he does that.
And I think and Oliver Queen would be great about with that after all that salmon ladder.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was in a lot of the advertising. I seem to remember that. Like opening the trailers where it's like, oh, what is this weird thing this guy's doing? And then that's the beginning of the trailer.
I don't think that's how the trailer opens.
Might be wrong.
But I think you are right that I think the spin down and the break is in the trailer.
But I might also be conflating that with something else, because that's been another movie.
Because I remember the trailer being like this big build up to him taking his goggles off. You see his shiny eyes.
Because doesn't the Thor Ragnarok trailer also have a little bit of that?
Yeah,
so maybe I'm conflating it with that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've seen this before. Anyway, so if it was kind of a 2-act story where that was the second act, and then at the end of it the subplots converged, it would not have felt like suddenly it was interrupted with an interlude.
Yeah,
but
no,
I looked at you and I was like,
movie in the middle.
So the bad guy showed up, like the scary half-dead guy with the chick that keeps changing into different crazy dresses.
Okay, it's not the half-dead guy. It's Carl Urban.
Oh, it is Carl Urban. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been a few days, and I'm trying to put it back together. No,
they show up and bring them back. The chick never leaves the planet.
She never leaves the planet.
She never leaves the planet.
Okay. Anyway, but the bad guy
Not
showed up,
Lady Macbeth.
and I'm thinking, oh, right. I'm thinking maybe.
Dame Vaco. Her name is Dame Vaco.
I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is where the climax is. Like the bad guys have shown up,
Yeah.
and like they're gonna have a showdown here. Like Shyamalan told us that all comic books have the showdown.
The showdown.
Right.
Which only happens in superhero comics.
And then there's a third act.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bizarrely
going.
structured.
It is a really crazy action movie that just has all these nutso action set pieces, and it's involved, but I don't know that at the end of the day it's really like deeply about anything. It wants to make me think that it is, but I think it's like there's ideas and stuff. But I think ultimately it's kind of just like a big crazy serialized melodrama sandwiched into like one shorter film.
Mm-hmm.
And by shorter, I mean it's not even that long of a movie, is it? Like
and to note, we watched the director's cut.
Okay, sure. Which is how much longer? Do you know?
I don't know how much longer it is, but so it's 2 hours and 14 minutes. I think it's the original cut was like 2 hours, like something around that.
It felt longer than that. Not always in a bad way, but some of that is that interlude where I felt like I switched the channel for a minute.
That's not changed. So I can tell you what's added.
Yeah.
All of Riddick's...
Oh, no, sure, absolutely. I'm just saying that part of the reason it felt longer, I'm not saying it feels longer than the original, I didn't see that. I'm just saying that it feels longer than 214. All
of Riddick's visions of that girl who touches his chest and has the glowy, there's like the glowy hand thing.
Yeah.
All of that's gone. So we don't actually...
How much do we need that?
It tells us about his race.
Yeah.
And all of that. All we get in the theatrical cut is just that like he's a Furian and there's a planet called Furia. There's an angry race, and they're called Furians.
Because of course they are. But at least it's not like this ironic thing where they're called that, but they're pacifists.
Yeah.
And then one of them is crazy.
Yeah.
At least we don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember what the prison planet's called?
Not right off.
It's
it was great.
Crematorium.
Crematorium. Yes, that was the whole the whole planet's called Crematorium.
No, Crematoria.
Yeah, that's great. It's great.
Because it's a flip on Pitch Black, where Pitch Black you had to stay out. You had to stay in the light. In this, you have to stay out of the sun because the sun will burn less sunlight. You're staying out of the light. They're doing a thing with that, but kind of subtly and almost for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know that it's like enlightening or anything. Like,
no. But no, it's just a real crazy fun. Like I want more from this universe. Like I will go to all the Riddick movies.
I'll say it reminded me a little bit of the Judge Dredd movie. With
not
Stallone.
Dredd, yeah.
Not Dredd, but which is funny because Carl Urban is in the good one.
And I like that movie. I think that movie's a lot of fun. I like this better.
I like it okay. Like I did a rewind on it. I think I gave it like a 2.5 or something. Like I don't hate it. It's got problems.
I really like movies where villains are really over the top.
I think that, I mean, it's been too long since I've reviewed that, but like I think there was maybe more meat to that story, but this is more entertaining.
Oh, there's definitely more meat to that story.
Would you say?
Like there's more of a story in that movie, definitely.
There are places where it sits and drags.
Yeah.
And this does not have that problem. Even with the prison planet, the problem with that is not that it gets boring, it's that it's different and is kind of more sober. It's almost like the movie Guy in a drunk tank, and then it got back out and started drinking again. Like,
yeah, well, and that middle section is closer to what you saw in Riddick.
yes,
Because David Twohy writes like tough guy dialogue better than anyone else, and I love it in Riddick, and we kind of get most of that is in the prison, although Toombs and his gang have that too, and I love everything Toombs says. I don't know who that actor is. I've never seen him in anything else. If I have, I don't know it. But I love that character. I think he's hilarious.
So, can I say...
All his dialogue's great.
If I watched this movie by myself...
You would not have liked it.
I probably would have fallen asleep.
That's fair.
And again, I'm not saying it's boring. I just wouldn't have been as engaged. Like, and I had a lot of fun watching this with you.
And we're talking over a little bit and kind of like making fun of it and whatnot. And so like there's
stuff I missed.
There are points during this movie where I'm explaining things to you, and some of that's because you're missing things, but some of that is because I've seen this movie a lot.
And it's not real easy to decipher.
No, it's not easy to decipher. But like I kind of appreciate that, but not in like a smart intellectual way, but like I like that this movie just has like things going on.
It's nice that it doesn't hold your hand, of course. And
yeah, but sometimes I don't know what the underverse is and what happens when they get there.
Theoretically, really interesting idea. I mean, we basically have like a literal hell. Like it seems like what should be,
and the leader of this religion has been there.
Yeah. And so, like, that gives some credibility to his religion, but he takes it too far, obviously. Where like, there is crazy superstition involved and stuff, right? Like, it's not all connected to the reality of it.
I don't know, because we don't ever see the underverse. We just know he's got superpowers. We don't actually know. Although, we do know that
he is half dead, whatever that means.
Well, and we see him do things.
Yeah.
Well, and we do know that the second film would have been going to the underverse, and that he kills people because the underverse needs larger population. That's an interesting concept. That like to where the dead go, they need more people, so you start murdering people in the living world.
That gives them soldiers. Yeah. And I've seen that done in other like celestial things with like a hell, you know, like Spawn does that a little bit. I've seen that and stuff. But no, that's a cool idea. In a sort of similar way to the floating city in Alita, I kind of wanted to go there the whole time, that we didn't get to go there. With Alita, I was excited. I was kind of satisfied by the fact that we didn't do that yet. This, I really wanted to go there.
Well, I mean, if you'd seen this back in 2003, maybe we'd have gotten those two Riddick sequels when we got in the big Chronicles of Riddick trilogy.
Yeah.
We didn't get that, and then they just kind of like sidestepped and went to Riddick. We do know that the third movie they're making is supposed to be It's supposed to be Furia, but we're not.
So
we're not doing
that a prequel?
No. It's supposed to be going to Furia, but
what is the point of that? They're all dead.
Well, I don't know, because we lost the middle movie of this trilogy, because originally it was going to be the second movie we go to the underverse, and the third movie would be Furia. I imagine there's a reason for it, but we never got that second movie, so I don't know. We're kind of, unfortunately for me, jettisoning all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, a lot of that's really post 9/11. Like, it's very like terrorists and like there's stuff going on in that movie that you wouldn't necessarily think to do now. It's like maybe they're getting away from that, but
that's fair. But it also sounds like, I mean, here's the thing. What they're doing, it sounds like they're doing for really smart reasons, but all of that is theoretically interesting if only you can, pardon me, translate it to an audience, right? So, like, the mythology is convoluted and confusing and people can't follow it, so we get rid of that and we make it, and we go back to brass tacks and we go back to basics. But I want to go to the underworld, because I really like underworld stories.
Do you want to talk about the sets? Just how insanely large and elaborate they are.
Yeah,
there's statues everywhere.
It's an insanely expensive film. Yeah, they built everything. There is not a lot of fake in this movie.
I think while we were watching it, you were like, "Oh, the set designer from Batman Forever told them that there's too many faces."
I don't remember saying that. That's really funny. Yeah. It's a really impressive looking movie as far as the sets go.
The special effects are all over the place.
It's got special effects all over the place, and I feel like I would have said that even at the time. It's not just that we got past it and it's dated. There's some like it is, to its credit, ambitious, And the worst thing about it is that it's really ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Also, what I also think is amusing about
cool
this...
ship designs and stuff. Like,
it does have some cool ship designs. I like that ship that Riddick's flying. I guess it's Tomb ship, but the ship that Riddick flies at the beginning, which I've always thought looked like the tumbler, looked like a flying tumbler.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny, like, if you go back to Pitch Black, it doesn't match this movie. Like, it in no way indicates that you're in, like, a bizarro, like, Dungeons and Dragons in space world.
That's true, yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
It's not so insanely heightened. And...
Yeah. And Riddick's kind of in between. Like, I don't think this world seems unbelievable in Riddick, but it also is maybe even more heightened than Riddick. Like, Riddick's a little bit more toned down.
Yeah, it's just Pitch Black got drunk, and then it became Riddick, and then it went and did a drunk take in the middle of it, and then got drunk again, and then the last movie is a sober Chronicles of Riddick that like really liked that material, but like does not want to ever get that drunk again. You know, does not want to be strung out on the drugs that it took to make that, but is still influenced by the thing that it made when it was on drugs.
So where's your sign flipping?
It is a soft red.
I suspected.
Because I don't think I would go back to this unless I watched it with you. Like,
well, and I told
this feels like a movie that I need Eric to enjoy, and that I think by definition requires a red.
And I told you up front, I think in the last omnibus, I said like this is the first time I'm intentionally picking a bad movie.
Yeah.
Because like I really love Chronicles of Riddick. It's not a good movie. It's
and I've done that
movie.
a couple times, but that's a lot better than my like. This movie's great. You know what? Now I'm watching it again. Not so much.
At some point, we will do that. We will do Dungeons and Dragons, which I do love entirely. Ironically, like it is a straight up bad movie. It's my favorite. You've been
threatening that since we started this series.
Yeah, we've just never gotten around to it.
Going all the way back.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point we'll do that.
The other thing I want to mention about this movie is one of my favorite things to do was to play the "Where the heck do I know that guy from?" game.
Oh yeah, everyone's in this.
A lot of cool a lot of actors that I've maybe never seen in anything else. We talked about this on After Dark, but for people that don't subscribe to Patreon, we saw the guy who played Thomas Wayne in Batman Begins. Mm-hmm. He's in this.
Yep.
And
with bleach blonde hair.
He has crazy bleach
hair.
Like
Billy Idol hair.
And this is the year before. This is 2004.
Yep.
And so it's really weird seeing him and looking completely different, but about the same age. And then, like you mentioned, or maybe you mentioned this before we started shooting. Actually, the guy who voiced Spawn is in this.
Keith David is in this.
And he's great,
with my
like
favorite
always.
line delivery he's ever given, which is there's guards searching around. And his wife comes to him and says they're looking for Riddick. They think he's a spy. And he goes, "A spy?
A spy?" Yeah, that's great.
It's great.
There is there was somebody I noticed that I could not believe was in this. I can't remember. There was like I think it was like a Smallville alum.
The Lord Marshal was from like 24 and like something else.
Oh yeah, the first gentleman in season 7
yes,
24.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That's who that was.
And he's also in apparently some Star Trek. I think you said he's in like Enterprise or something. I think you said.
Different guy.
Oh, different guy.
Even a different guy.
Okay.
Who's in one of the bad guys in this is in Enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the Vulcan trilogy with the bombing, he's there. But anyway, yeah. So anything else that you have?
No.
So yeah, I enjoyed watching it with you, but I think overall I didn't care for it.
Sure.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Sure appreciate it. If you were watching in the Omnibus playlist, just keep it rolling. We're going to go now to... We've only got a couple more things to do on this epically long Geek Flution Omnibus. We are going to move on now to Licensed Review, and we're going to talk about Moonraker. Another movie that is... that has things in common with this movie. And then after that, we're going to do News and Letters pages. So stick around with us, and if you're watching just this video, because you wanted to see us talk about Chronicles of Riddick, thanks so much for doing that. And in the meantime...
All of those people that showed up just to hear us talk about Chronicles of Riddick.
I mean, they're right, 15.
I want this to be one of those like weird videos. You're like, why does that have 20,000 views?
That many people watch? I guess nobody's talking about this movie. I'm shocked. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And we will see you again next time.